Randall, feeling that pressure from the ladies, has to make a decision.
Yeah, Rara. Is that his name? My God.
So it's a nah for Rara, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Ready to Love, Season 6, Episode number 9.
But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new videos. And please send in your comments, and we appreciate you for your support of this channel.
All right, let's get it started. Nephew Tommy,
So this
set
is
up a
the
weekend.
This is the out of town weekend. We
Mhm.
see everyone going to it, and when Tommy gets there, he said the weekend is all about effort, sacrifice, and dedication, and each person has to decide who they're gonna spend their infinite future with.
Yeah, so that's what this weekend is designed to do, bring all that in focus.
Right, and one thing of note is that LJ said he had a work commitment and he is not on the premises.
Yeah, Tranika broke the news to everyone.
Right, because Tranika is feeling LJ. I don't know why after that nonsense last week.
Yeah, and when Nephew Tommy learns LJ's absence and the reason behind it, he's basically saying that would be a red flag to him.
Mike and Gideon is having a conversation on the couch with Brandy and Kayla. And Kayla is being an advocate for the woman. Mike may not like it, but she is asking him questions to pull out that truth in him. So she asked him a simple question. What does he have in common with Kayla? And the brother got upset. He said, what, she's up in his ass or something like that?
Yeah, pain his ass.
Same thing. Same
Woo.
thing. But if he can't answer that, and Kayla is sitting there, and if Kayla is saying that, oh, Mike may be able to say that when they're alone, and then Brandy chirps up that, you know, we're here, anything you have to say, you should be able to say in public. Then Kayla understood that the only thing that she and Mike have in common is the sexual thing. So she gets up and she walks away. So she heads on over to Rara.
Yeah. It was just a weird situation, wasn't it? It was kind of awkward for Mike, I guess.
Well, you speak on it because, you know, Mike clearly thought he was outed at that moment. And I don't know why he couldn't just answer a simple question, what he has in common.
Well, he made it awkward by not being able to come correct and come direct right then and there, and clarify some things so that he could make the way forward a little bit more easier to navigate. But he didn't take that opportunity, so it remains difficult.
Mike, when he met Kayla, said that she was too young for him. They can't do anything together, and all of a sudden, that switched up, and now Kayla is in the hunt with Brandy. So and they do have sexual energy, but sometimes that's just not enough.
It's not enough. Not enough.
So we go to Jamala. She also wants Randall to make a decision. She and he was on the balcony.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And he is trying to just be casual with it, and she's right on top of him, and she's pressing him.
Pushing.
And based on my,
I felt like I needed to reach through the screen and hand that brother a towel so he could towel off because the sweat was rolling off.
Right, or get a hose to hose her down.
It's just one of those things where the longer he waits, the harder it becomes.
Brandy is asking Samson about how he's feeling and what he's feeling and what have you. And again, this is another thirsty moment. Brandy knows her strongest connection is Mike, but she's trying to play the game basically and attach herself to Samson. But Samson already knows what she's doing, so they had a really awkward conversation.
Right, and she also knows that Sharice is Samson's strongest connection.
Right.
It was just something where it was not genuine simply because both of them know whose best connection to the other one
Right, because he even mentioned that he saw her when she was turned up with Mike giving him a lap dance, and he believes that she has a wild side. And she said, well, she just got to make a man know that she likes him. And I don't think Samson kind of gels with that kind of fiery kind of sister.
And Samson and Sharice, Jamala, Kayla, and Randall, they talk at the hot tub, right?
Yeah, and that nonsensical. When was it? Who was your first kiss? I can't even remember who was my first kiss.
Nor can
Can
I.
you?
Nor can I.
Don't know where these people get this ish from.
Nor can I.
But Jamala came to the hot tub situation, and she saw that Kayla was all over rah rah, and of course that upset her. Randall and Kayla left the hot tub area and they went up into his room. She said that they were missing, and she had to find where he was.
Lord have mercy.
And I'm saying, go for a walk, go
Listen,
for a swim.
Listen, she needed
Do
a case of these, okay?
Do something.
She needed a case of this
She
water.
actually said the man was missing and she had to go find him. Jesus. And then that's exactly what she did. She went and
found his ass
in the bedroom. Kayla, of course, is laid out because she's trying to show the goods and, you know.
what he could have and get that imagination rolling.
Exactly, and Randall likes what he's seeing. So when she shows up, he gets upset.
Yeah.
And she grabs her hat and heads out the room.
Slides out the room.
Then Kayla said in her confessional, Randall needs to check Jamala. Because Kayla knows what she's doing. She's been at that rodeo before. She got a certain set of skills and she's going to use it to her advantage.
To get what she wants.
So what Jamala could have done is when Kayla is sprawled off on the bed, she go and sit on the counter and do her thing.
Show a little something.
Hey, why not? Let's get as ridiculous as we possibly can.
Hey, look, it'd be an interesting tactic.
Come on.
And it would be fun to see how that would play out, wouldn't it?
I would want to watch that.
Yeah, I would want to see that too, for sure.
And when she and Randall had a conversation, she said that she was tickling his scrotum. And I'm wondering, damn.
Like that, huh?
Good God Almighty. Randall said that he spent the most time with Jamala, so she should know where he is.
And that Jamala can't. Jamala tells, or Jamala is told by Randall that she can't control every situation,
and that they should let the process unfold,
evolve into what it's going to be.
And then Jamala clapped back and say, "Hey, you can't expect me to trust you,
right?
Because this is a new relationship,
right?
So
we're not that deep into it.
We're not that deep into it. So your expectation that I'm gonna not get upset by seeing this woman stroll off on your bed,
it's not really realistic.
It's not realistic.
And basically, he needs to make a decision, her or Kayla.
Right. And I'm not understanding why he is so traumatized by saying which one is which.
It's that pressure. He can be distracted and also lose focus. So I think he's going to have a hard decision. I really do.
Well, hey, as I said, he can hook up with one of them or all of them. It really don't matter. So we have Gideon and Swayze. They're in the kitchen and they're booed up. They're really going in strong. They're kissy, touchy, and they're making a meal together.
Yeah.
And anything
Swayze trying to hook it up, show off the culinary skills.
Anything regarding a man and a woman cooking together, there's a level of intimacy that's happening between them as they prepare a meal.
Yeah, and Gideon was enjoying that part of it,
And he was getting it in, and she was allowing him to get it in. So they were having a good time. Tanika and Randall found a quiet space
where slipped away, slid out to the side a little bit,
where they could sit and talk.
Right.
And Tranika talked about getting ready for the process of ready to love, clearing her energy so that what she desires or wants is going to come to her, and letting go of all the negativity that she had because she has been in relationships before and was disappointed. So she prepared herself to get rid of the old stuff and be open and zen enough to allow that new energy in. And Randall liked that about her. He said she thought she was awesome. And Randall started to touch. They were holding hands at one point.
Right.
And Tranika did that thing on him.
Oh, hell, you're
on
in
the
trouble now.
What do you do?
I'm just
Oh my
saying, man.
God.
She put it on him, didn't she?
Yeah.
And not only that too, but he, you know, I noticed that I didn't miss this. I don't know if viewers, other viewers caught it as well, but he had his hand all over the drumstick.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm just saying. I noticed it. I missed it.
The drumstick.
The
Huh?
drumstick.
Well, hey, when you have the drumstick and the
Right.
you're in
You
trouble.
you got to use it. Use it.
Use what you have.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
a skill set involved
That's what I'm saying,
with the
man.
drumstick
And
this, and then there's another situation that's behind you too.
oh my goodness, yeah, brother in trouble. Trouble, boy. Huh?
Shut up. Kadian and Swayze and Samson and Charisse go on jet skis. Kadian admitted that she grabbed hold of Mr. Johnson during this jet skiing excursion.
Oh, you want me to say?
I don't want you to say a thing.
I ain't gonna say a damn thing.
So I'm not sure how she did that, but she said she did it anyway. So
You don't believe that was inadvertent, do you?
no, I do
I
not.
don't know, me neither.
Not even close.
Cadian's way too deliberate, way too intentional for that to have just happened.
Or LJ called Stranika
Check in.
to check in, and of course he wants to. She gives him a view of what she's working with in a blue swimsuit, and you know it is what it is. He tells her that he wants a pic, and that he admitted in his confessional that sometimes he chooses work over relationship. That's why he decided not to come, but to go to a conference, and that may not be beneficial for him going forward.
Well,
Because
that's a hell of a time to
losing-
realize it.
He's losing a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised that he just figured that out.
Oh, after the fact.
After the fact, why come on Ready to Love
Thank
when
you.
are going to be at a conference? So I'm not sure why this is happening, but
Is it fair to say that he pulled a justice?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We'll see where that got him then.
So we see Samson and Charisse, and he is rubbing her feet and they're
One-on-one.
sitting down and chatting it up, and you know it's one of the first times they alone together and having some conversation.
Samson, I think, deliberately kept it, kind of fun and playful and a little goofy.
Do you think these two people have any sexual attachment?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't.
And Charisse alluded to that. She said Samson needs to show her a little more layers than he is
A little
right
bit more
now.
depth.
A little more depth.
Yeah.
Because all he does is the surface stuff, the Zen stuff. He talks, and I guess that's from his coaching that he does.
Yeah, life coaching.
But he needs more spice.
Yeah, he needs to take it up a notch or two.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and that's what she's expecting.
That's what she's expecting,
That's
and
part of
that's
the
what
problem.
she's not getting, and she's being dishonest to herself because later on in the episode she said that Samson was her dude and she likes corny, and then the camera stayed on her face, and that girl don't like corny.
That's not her. Yeah, that's definitely not her.
She's a fire starter.
Right.
How are you gonna?
Yeah, that was a moment of revelation as far as I was
Right,
concerned.
and then she got some hints and layers of a mean girl. So how is Mr. Goofball gonna satisfy that itch?
Yeah, I don't know. To be determined later on.
All right.
Anyway, they all gathered together for dinner, right?
Yes.
And Samson says a nice little prayer and then begins to, I guess, initiate a dialogue with the rest of his castmates at the table by saying, what brought you to this point, the ready to love process in terms of your life.
Right.
And I guess it was
Tanika started
who
off.
spoke up and basically said that, she came into the process after having done some work for, was it 3 years?
Yeah. Work on herself.
On herself because
Right.
she realized that it needed to be done.
Right. Randall said that he's been alone for 4 years,
Right.
and that he has had a few successes, but unfortunately he can't feel the joy of it because he has no one to share it
Yeah.
with.
And then Brandy kind of added that in her life she's never experienced love before from somebody else like that in that way. So she wants to know what that feels
like, and
Right.
she deserves it.
Right. She feels like she deserves it, and she expects to find it at some
Right.
point in time in her life.
Right.
Right.
Swayze said that he's afraid of love, and his challenge is to release that fear and get to the point where he can bring love into his life.
That's probably pretty much honest revelation about himself, that,
Right.
and pretty candid, obviously. But you know what? At some point in time, you have to move beyond that, don't you? And if you really expect to get to that place where you experience what it is that you say you want.
So,
Yep, definitely
and
understand.
Mike said, well, he married his childhood sweetheart. They had a good life, but unfortunately, they got a divorce.
Right, so he's done the marriage thing and all that, and he's in a little bit different position than the rest of his castmates because most of them have never been married. He, on the other hand, has been and then been divorced, so his perspective is entirely different.
So we go to Randall and Mike were having a conversation.
Man to man, chopping it up.
And Randall indicated that he felt like he was juggling. Don't you think it's Randall's fault that he's in this position?
No question about it, because he hasn't done part of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's kind of like in that vein why he feels, like I said, the pressure and is uncomfortable, shall we say.
And case in point, Randall is talking about Jamala, who he has had a longer connection with than anybody.
Right.
And he says Jamala presents herself one way, but he found out she's something else.
Right.
And she has a tough exterior. She comes across like, hey, I can do this.
Right.
But inside, she's a little fragile.
Right. And then what did Mike do?
And Mike said, what did Mike say?
You just not figuring that out? Where you been at?
Mike said that you got to reassure your woman, reassure the person that you feel the strongest with.
Exactly.
So
at the beginning or close to it.
Right. So she doesn't go off the rails.
Exactly.
Because Mike certainly has been reassuring Brandy because she thinks she's in that spot.
Anyway, the episode kind of transitions to the end of the day where people start going to bed because tired. They've had a long day.
Right, and at the end of it, we see that Mike and Brandy spend the night together.
Yeah, Mike slid in there, didn't he?
Yeah, well,
Right.
Yeah.
Next day, elimination day for one of the guys.
Right.
The powers with the ladies.
So we found out who likes who. Of course, Gideon wants Swayze, Tanika, LJ, and Randall, Kayla, Randall, and Mike, Brandy, Mike, Sharice, Samson,
Jamala, Randall.
Jamala, and Randall. And then they asked who they didn't like, and at the end of the decision making and the collection of the data, we see that Swayze
Mm-hmm.
and Samson were selected. One of them will be eliminated.
Right, and they left us on the cliff's edge and hanging from it because they didn't reveal it, and they're not going to until the next episode.
Right, next episode they're going to tell us who is going to be eliminated, but it seemed based on Tommy's interceding in the elimination process that something different is going to happen. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
So this trip out of town was not as hot as other trips that we have seen in the
Previous seasons.
previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit muted.
It was.
I mean,
Or was that the editing?
last year in DC, people
Oh,
were
my
throwing
goodness,
hands and
acting
fighting and
fake,
burning stuff.
Heat fool.
But this one was a little bit, was a little slow. Nothing
more
to write
tame.
home about. Let me stop before I get into trouble.
Say something you really want to say.
We hope you enjoyed our review. Please send your comments and your likes, and we'll see you in the next bit.